Hey, welcome to the show. I'm the Crypto Kid, and in these videos we take a look at Bitcoin and everything that's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you're new to the show, welcome. We make daily videos and keep it relevant to what's going on in the news. So if you're joining us again, welcome back. Let's jump right in and take a look at Bitcoin Cash this morning. Now, as you can see, we are sitting above where we were yesterday, now around 2,400 USD, and it seems as though we are climbing as the trend looks like we're moving in a pretty positive upward direction as we slip into the new year here. Depending on where you are, it is getting closer to that time, and it is going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few months. Now, if we take a look at Bitcoin Core, you can see that they have broken through, and we're currently sitting at $14,000 USD. And again, looking at the cryptocurrency market cap here, you can see that almost across the board we're seeing some pretty positive numbers, a lot of green and a lot of rising numbers here, to say the least. And again, like, it's really across the board, so this is positive to see a lot of money flowing back into everything here. Now if we hit that view all, you can see a little bit bigger here, a little bit more range of what's going on, and there is a few stragglers here, including Bitcoin Cash, that's looking to still slip away from those losses we saw, but generally it's looking very positive again as we head into the new year. So this is a cool website I wanted to share. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. What it is txhighway.com, and it's showing a blockchain visualization of all the transactions that are happening on both Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin Core blockchain. Now you can see at the bottom there, that's Core sitting in gridlock with a lot of different transactions just in a slow moving flow there with very high fees. But it's pretty amusing because it really does make a joke out of this in a serious way, because this is all fact-based information here. And it really shows you the ridiculousness of Bitcoin Core, especially when those people or institutions around the world describe it as a currency, which in many cases it is far from any type of currency at all. So this is fun. You can check it out. I mean, you can hit that button on the side here and it shows you the type of transactions ranging from micro all the way up to the big whales, showing you in different types of cars. So pretty cool. I'll leave a link in the description box to check this out. You can share it with people and just show the situation of Core and Cash in a visual sense. So leave the link there if you want to check it out. And we'll jump over to a relative story here. Speaking of currencies being used here and cryptocurrencies, this was an article that came out in theguardian.com here, talking about the UK over in Britain and how card payments are really starting to take over cash in a pretty exponential pace here. Now over in Britain, over half of retail transactions are done with cards, and of those cards, 1/3 of those are actually what are known as contractless cards. So these tap and go cards, if you will, basically anything that's not a credit card but still plastic, or a type of tap and go technology. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing a trend happening where a lot of people just want that ease of use. They don't want to have to slow down with their PIN. They'd rather just move through and hit the payment. But the interesting thing I see here is that they don't mention the use of cryptocurrencies in regards to this. So there is a quote that I relate to here, coming from The Economist, saying that as long as the beggar or busker on the street had an unturned hat in which passerbys were dropping notes and coins, you knew that cash was still here to stay, and that's so true. But just last week, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen as well, a friend of mine here in the quote told me he saw someone begging outside the shop, and their right in their hand was a small portable chip and pin machine. Now, see, again, they're not getting towards the cryptocurrency, but they're saying that yes, even technology has gotten so accommodating that these street or panhandlers or anyone buskers on the street are actually just allowing people with cards or phones to actually to donate or to chip in and throw some dollars their way as well. But the interesting thing again is they don't talk about cryptocurrencies. Now you'll see the next part of this article talks specifically about Bitcoin, but it's relating it to the success it's had in mainstream adoption and its price. And so if you were to take these two little points here and converge them, the success in mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies used as digital currency gaining more adoption, and you join it with this statement here, and you think of the potential that has together, now we're getting somewhere. Now if you talk about Bitcoin.com and their adoption of the upcoming Bitcoin Cash card. That is what we're talking about here, using cryptocurrencies and integrating it into a peer-to-peer form without the need of trusted third parties. And if there is third parties, it's voluntary and it works to our advantage, meaning the fees are still low and we don't have to rely on these trusted third parties that might not be in our favor. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's jump over to bitcoin.com, because there is, again, another incredible article as we continue from the Satoshi Revolution. Now, this is chapter 3, part 6, and we do talk about this. This is one of my favorite pieces coming out of bitcoin.com in the news there. And this is specifically talking about these TTPs, or trusted third parties. And I would invite you to check this out if you're interested at all, because it's not only a great read, but it really goes into the depth of the actual topic here of decentralized exchanges and what Satoshi's intention was when he created Bitcoin to alleviate the need for any TTPs. Now, keep in mind, in my opinion, and as this article points out as well, there is, a relevance to some beneficial trusted third parties. Now, as this article again points out, that as our economy becomes more and more advanced and civilized, we are going to need them, and we do need them in terms of legal guardians and lawyers and other advisors, as well as different consultants. Those types of voluntary parties, those trusted third parties, are positive. But when you have something that is forced upon you and there is no choice, whether you're talking about government mandates or central banking systems, taxings that are put into place that you have to pay. When I'm talking about a trusted third party, I'm talking about the involvement of someone to get in between this peer-to-peer transaction. So basically, a trusted intermediary that happens between the two parties. Now, again, we have positive situations such as decentralized exchanges, where you're able just to go on, get a fair share of the market price there, trade, make it a clean exchange, and then you're done with it. There's benefits to both parties, and it's voluntary, and it works. But what happens when you have a lot of different centralized exchanges that are run by the banks and government? That's where it becomes tricky. Now, you're seeing this, especially in Japan. We talked about it yesterday in the video, about the exchanges that are being regulated, and basically they're just being authorized by the government. Now, this, in my opinion, is just another way, as well as in the article's point of view, of how the government is managing to get control of the cryptocurrencies and really manage the wealth of people. So here's a great quote that really ends it here. If the government cannot control the issuance of money, which it's not, it needs to control its circulation. Governments realize that they have lost their monopoly over currency, and their best move is to control the circulation of every unit of wealth in society, whether it or not it's created by them. Okay, so this is really what it's all about, and exchanges are the choke point at which they can do so. So you're seeing it right now with a lot of these exchanges coming in, and that's why it's really beneficial not to hold your crypto in exchanges that are potentially centralized, or at least have any connection to TTPs that you're not comfortable with. Now, I say that because these exchanges could be susceptible to government control or banks coming in and shutting them down. It really is anyone's guess what's going to happen. So that's why peer-to-peer, without the need of exchanges or any negative TTPs, is really, in my opinion, the best way to go. And you can do that by just supporting P2P systems, and really just being acknowledging who you're giving your money to and who these third parties are. Whether it's look at it as one thing the article points out. They say to you, basically, is it benefiting the individual or the government? And so you really have to ask yourself, is this benefiting from me? But, in my opinion, as Satoshi wanted it as well, trusted third parties are not necessary in the broader sense. So again, I'll leave this with you. And as the article also points out, prosperity is the independence and freedom. And I wish wealth and privacy and protection from authority to everyone in 2018, and I couldn't have said it better. So hopefully, where you are, you're enjoying your time with friends and family, and if not, just enjoying yourself. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and we will see you in the new year.